So it's similar to the existing state where basically banks lobby for your custom and they want, basically banks extend credit to you now, right? So banks compete for customers to extend credit to. So there's very little difference between whether that credit takes the form of a loan or whether it's a callable loan, which essentially a banknote is. It's just a specific a type of loan that happens to be instantly redeemable. So I think it's quite similar to the status quo in that regard. So I think there's a very interesting argument about whether or not legal tender laws are the kind of I don't know what the analogy is, whether that's the crucial element of this debate, and if you repeal legal tender laws, then you immediately have a free market in banking. I mean, obviously, you could say, well, yeah, that's a real puzzle. Maybe we should just not have taxes, and then we can resolve it that way, right? No, realistically, yes, the government will have to nominate a currency that it will be paid with income. Maybe purely because the government says, and that's all that legal tender laws are doing, is saying you have to pay taxes in that currency, that is enough to give it enough momentum so that people use it. Personally, I think that lacks a kind of imagination, and I believe that we have so many different types of competing credit instruments that even though you have to use a particular currency perhaps to pay your taxes, then that doesn't necessarily mean that nobody is going to use alternative currencies for other types of transactions. Also, on top of that, there's no necessity for the government to say this previous legal tender is the only form in which we'll accept payment. If you had a genuinely free market in money, you may expect something like gold to emerge as the medium of exchange, in which case the government would say they would be accepting gold and they'd be using that medium of exchange.